Welcome in, everybody. It's the Three Wise Men. High school football starts this week, gentlemen. I'm ready to go. I'm Danny Holbrook, joined by Miles Holliday, and Nate Garlock is back.
Oh, that's Nate, isn't it? Look, there he is.
Hi, everybody.
Before we
Good to see you guys.
get into fun and happiness,
I'm surprised to see him.
I need to read a statement from management.
This is serious.
Nate will be returning to work following a 1-week suspension. We expect all employees, including Nate, to uphold the company's standard of professionalism and respectful behavior at all times.
Does anybody else find it ironic that he couldn't get to the word
We
professionalism?
appreciate everyone's continued commitment to maintaining a positive and productive workplace, and I believe Nate was fined close to $20 million.
$20 million.
That's from management.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep. No postseason ban, though. I will be here through all the tournament. They felt it wasn't necessary
you
to
get to keep
punish
your
those that
championship?
came before me.
Yeah,
Yes.
Wow. Well, it's good to have you back,
Well,
Nate.
I would like to take this moment, okay? And, I understand, that there was some questions about my predictions and how they were obtained. I promise you they were obtained through mythical powers that I did receive as I walked into that cave, regardless of what any of these guys would say. But because it seems to have bothered them, I do want to take this moment, and I want to apologize to absolutely nobody.
How's he get the one cam? How's he get the one cam?
I was gonna mention it because I know it bothers you, and it makes me feel so good.
Yeah.
Nate, I never doubted, because when you told me how you got those powers and then got the outfit at the gift shop outside that cave, I was a believer.
Legit.
Did you, your segment was great 2 weeks ago, but did you happen to see Dr. Danny last week?
No, I decided what I was going to do is I was going to pull a Danny Holbrook, and I don't watch things that I'm not on.
Wow, shots fired. Well, we got a new character coming this week. Yeah.
You need to go back, because Dr. Danny takes a couple shots at Nate the Great.
Oh, really?
Well, it was easy because you cheated.
It's weird. It's weird. I didn't hear that from anybody. Apparently nobody else watched either.
Your conference didn't go in. That must be the thing to do now. All right, guys, let's get right to it. It's the Diamond Dave Bowen best thing we saw all week. First off, though, you got to cover the email address so people can write in and ask us any questions, right?
Yeah, you go ahead and give them that email address.
I asked you for the email address and I didn't have it.
You don't have the email address?
No, I need it. That's why I asked you.
You're the one that read it last week.
We're
I thought
a
you had the
professional
email.
show, guys. We talk and we take
Three
the
wise
time
men
to be
at
ready for this.
WTLW.
We have the Three Wise Men. We had 3 letters that were sent in on the email.
Yeah.
So anytime anyone wants to email us and ask us anything, we'll be more than happy to answer those.
And the new maps, or the new app's available?
New app is available as well. And what is the email address again?
It's, I believe, 3wisemen at WTLW.com.
There you go.
Nailed it.
Fantastic.
Good job.
Maybe they'll put it on the bottom of the screen.
Yes, right, yes.
Right there.
Yes. Megan's not here this week.
No.
Yeah.
No. So no mean Megan this week.
Yeah, no mean Megan this week. All right, guys, it's time for the Diamond Dave Bowen best thing we saw all week.
A couple. I have the Lima Senior Scrimmage against Bellefontaine. It was fantastic. Got to go there with the best hair in print media, Chris Howell. We got to take that in. It was fantastic. The quarterback play, Rain Sinclair, Hall for senior, fantastic stuff. I'm telling you, Lima Senior, they scored a ton of points last year. They're going to score more this year. They're going to be even more explosive. That's going to be a very fun team. But the other one, Danny, the Wren Wiffle Ball Championship, called that with Dave Bowen. It is unbelievable. You can't really put it into words. You have to experience. Please, everybody, go experience it at some point in time. It is an amazing thing. You've seen the movie Mystery Alaska, where the town plays hockey, and it's one of those spectacles that they take great pride in. That's the same thing with wiffle ball there. It's a magical thing. If you don't want to go for the whole weekend, just show up for the championship. They turn out the lights. They get spotlights out. They have fireworks. It's better than watching like the NBA All-Star game when guys come out onto the court. It is an absolutely amazing thing. Guys, make sure you go next year.
How's cell service?
It's amazing as well.
Kind of sounds like we may need to get our own team and try to get out there
and
get out there for the wiffle ball game.
I'm playing.
I am telling you right now, you don't want any part of that. No, you do not. These guys, they come up from little kids and they get up all the way to they're old enough to play, and then they trade teams. These are generational talents. This is played at an elite level. I asked Dave Bowen about putting a team together, and he goes, no, you don't want to do that. You'll get hurt. And he ain't kidding, man. This is serious stuff there.
Wait, you don't think that Danny is at an elite level athlete?
No.
Did you not see me hitting
Mr.
at the
Old
Cleveland
40 in high school?
Guardians
No.
batting cage? I was drilling the ball. Oh my gosh! I have a big red bat that's swollen
The
up.
bomb bat. Get the bomb bat.
bat.
Look, if we use the bomb bat, we might score against these guys.
Let me use it. What's the best thing you saw all week, Nate? I'm sorry, the best thing you saw the last 2 weeks because you weren't here last week.
Yeah, no. So
What'd you do on your suspension, by the way?
Yeah, I was down in Cincinnati. Like I said before I left, I went and moved the oldest down into college. So.
Staying with the story, huh?
Yep, absolutely.
Well, that's what we're going
with. So for me, I put a big order in on Amazon, and listen, you would think that Amazon would be able to get things quick enough. They're a multi-billion-dollar company. I had to do this last minute, but the fireworks, the streamers, the party poppers just did not come in time.
Party poppers.
Ohio State named QB1, guys. Julian Sain. It's only been the name we've been saying since March, but Ryan Day finally decided to start paying attention.
That's what we're saying.
And so we finally got our guy, and just a couple of weeks before we take on in a 1-2 matchup, we finally got who we're looking for. Couldn't be happier. Ryan Day finally deciding that it's time to name QB1 at Ohio State.
I hope Ohio State goes on to win the national title, and Julian Sain is a Heisman Trophy type of kid, right?
Absolutely.
And still comes back next year, and Ryan Day says, you know what, we're not going to name him the starter.
Got an open competition.
Because we got to keep this bit alive with Nick Garland.
You know what? At this point, I would not be surprised because Ryan Day, I'm pretty sure, is just rage baiting me on a regular basis with this stuff.
Like, hey, that ball-headed guy in Lima? Let's get him.
That's what he's doing.
And so my other one, fellas, it's a little bit outside of the sports world, but the Allen County Fair started this week.
Yeah.
And, I think one of the things that get lost in the start of fall, and we got football going this week, and we're all excited, and all these things are going on. But if you go out to the Allen County Fair, these kids' state championship is happening, and those are 4-H kids.
Yeah, that's cool.
The kids who have raised all their animals, they're in there showing the showmanship stuff, all the awards, the money that goes on there, and you got kids in their special interest projects and all the other things that are going on. These kids spend all year getting ready to do this. They put a ton of time and energy and effort into it, and they finally get to showcase what they have done this entire past year while they've been at the fair. And I was out there on Sunday going through all the different barns and looking at all the different projects and all the different animals and watching some of the shows.
It's cool stuff.
It is incredible what these kids do. I think sometimes it gets lost at this time of the year just because of how much we all love sports. So I got to give those kids a shout out. I love seeing it. It was by far one of the greatest things I saw.
Harness racing the next 2 nights, but Danny and I were there on the afternoon huddle this afternoon. We walked by and looked at the cows. He looks at one of the cows and says, I'm going to go eat one of your cousins right now.
I never said that.
That's what he said.
I never said that.
I believe it.
Yeah. I never even said that. Can I get the camera on me now and just close the gap here? Because what I have to say is really, really important. There's the best thing I saw all week. The best thing I saw all week is the scandal at the University of Michigan is done. Okay? But let me just say this. It's done, but if you're a fan of that team up north, just know this. You're cheaters. You got caught cheating. You got a penalty. You're all happy because you didn't get a bowl ban. That's great. But you had the most scandalous coaching tree in the history of college football.
15 guys.
15 guys. You're going to pay millions and millions of dollars in fine. And I know it's not coming out of your pocket, but it will. It will, because they're going to lose 10% of their scholarship money. They're going to lose close to $30 million. And you can say, well, everybody does it. Well, you did it, and you kept doing it, and you said it doesn't make a difference. Then why did you keep doing it? Because you cheated. You cheated, you cheated, you cheated. I know, I'm bitter. I am bitter, okay? But it's over.
Do you have enough fuel for Buckeye Corner later when that's number one?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
all right.
Listen, you throw a cell phone in a pond, you know you're doing wrong.
Yeah, right.
You know you're doing wrong.
Where are we at, though, where we can't dredge that pond? We don't have the technology to go deep sea fishing, diving into to get the pond and the phone out? Yeah, can't do that?
Jim Harbaugh, a 10-year show cause on top of a 4-year show cause, and nobody says anything about it. And that's just it. He refused to cooperate with the NCAA. He refused to cooperate.
Well, all right. Hey, we're going to talk Buckeyes later.
We'll
see the blood pressure going up. Your face is getting red.
Do we have the defibrillator ready?
There we go. It's okay, buddy. It's all right. It's like me talking about Will Howard, man. It's okay, buddy.
I'm glad he's back.
It's all right.
It's right over there.
I'm glad he's back.
Yeah, it's okay, man.
It's interview time here on the Three Wise Men, and we are joined by a couple quarterbacks, Miles, Brady and Carson Parker, and don't get any better than these guys. We've had them on the show before. Super excited.
I think it's safe to say they can throw farther than us.
I think it's safe to say. Guys, thanks for coming on the show.
Of course, thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Let's start with you, Carson. Year number 2 at Ohio Dominican. I want to ask you about the first year. they when they're recruiting you, man, they're telling you all the good stuff, right? And all the fun stuff, and you're gonna be doing this, you're gonna be doing this. What's the reality of being a freshman football player at Ohio Dominican University?
It's definitely a lot different than what they tell you in the recruiting. Recruiting, it's all rainbows and unicorns. Life's going to be great, but you come in and you get a good, realistic view of what it's going to be like in the summer leading into fall camp. You're down there on campus as much as you can. You work out, and you get a few player-led 7-on-7, so you get to understand the difference in the speed of play. You got to realize that before you actually get to play in front of the coaches. But then when the coaches in fall camp take over, it's a different level. The mind, you're physically getting beaten, and then your mind is also just as bad as your body because you're in meetings all day. You practice, you lift, and that's about it for about a week and a half.
I've heard people talk about, when they recruit you, they know you can play at that level, but it's the mental game and the speed of the game. Is that true?
Yes, that is 100% true. Our coaches, our head coach especially, he takes pride in basically making sure you're mentally, physically, if your mental toughness is high enough to play, or if it's not, he'll kick you right out. If you're stupid off the field, he'll let you go. It's just you have to be good in all aspects, not just you can't just play.
After you're in practice, can you look at some guys on the team and say, he's not going to make it?
Yes.
You can already tell?
Yeah.
How can you tell that?
You can just their body language and how they if you carry yourself with like a cocky, too cocky, you can definitely tell like this guy's I might think he can make it, but it's going to be a rude awakening for some of them.
And Brady, year 2 for you as a starter, right? Look, I'm going to say this. Miles and I last year watched you a bunch, and we were so impressed with you. And we kept saying, next year is this kid's year. Are you excited about having that year under your belt, and now you know what you can do and what you have to do? Look, you guys are loaded, right?
Yeah. I'm very excited for this year. This year, not having a year under my belt, I feel like I expect more what they expect more out of me, and I also expect what my competition brings. I'm very excited for this year.
Yeah. You guys got a lot of returning lettermen back, right? And you in that
Loaded.
line, that
You guys are
line
loaded.
on both sides of Miles and I called it, and you watch our special on all the teams you're going to see. What about the expectations for the Birds this year? Because everybody in the area knows how good you guys are going to be.
Yeah, with everybody, a lot of people coming back, our line, we have a lot of them coming back, so we should be pretty good. I'd say good record should be 9-1, 10-0.
I like it.
I like it.
Set
That's
the goals
confidence.
If you're going to set goals, set them high.
We're all confident this year, especially the new head coach. He's been pushing us more than we've been pushed for the past couple of years. So.
Now, you guys are always busy during the football season, right? You talk to us about all the meetings you're in during the season, out of season, all that stuff. How much do you guys still communicate during the season, though? I mean, I know you try to make as many games as possible. If you've had a rough day at practice, can you text Big Brother and say, hey, this is what's going on, help me out? Do you guys communicate like that?
Yeah, I'd say we do for the most part. Normally I get a text from Dad first, though. Dad will text me back, hey, Brady, you need to do this. Text him about this, and this. So I'll shoot him a text.
That sounds like Troy. It does.
But no, this year it'll probably be harder to make more games. But yeah, no, it was fun being able to come at the end of the week and see him how much he developed from. I think my first game I came to was week 2, and then at the end of the year I watched a few games just to see how far really experience can get you. And now he has a full year, and we'll see what he can do this year.
Do you ever give him tips?
All the time.
Like big bro, come on, man.
He always asks me for him.
That's not
He
true.
always asks me for him. That's awesome.
He knows who the better athlete is.
Oh, that's not true.
When you call him, and let's just say you're going up against this team, do you ever call him and say, hey, what did you guys do against these guys, or what did you do against this defense? I mean, it's a college quarterback now,
A lot of the times, like if we play, it's very rare for us to play the same team because he was never in a conference, and now we're in a conference.
Yeah.
But
Do you hold that against him?
No, but it's better for us. We play better teams.
But
AWC's a grind, right?
Yeah. But when we do play the same teams, like they still run the same defense. So when I call them, I'll ask like, what was their open spots, or how did he break the defense up? Pretty easy.
Yeah. What's your hardest defense you have to face when you look across that line and you see it? What do you go? Oh, here we go again.
I'd say, I don't know.
Doesn't want to give too much credit. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
Just say your own. See our own defense at practice.
Our own defense.
It's a training camp answer, right? Every NFL quarterback, oh, man, our defense at training camp, this is the toughest one I'm going to face all year. Carson, I want to know, walking up to the line of scrimmage in college from high school, okay, how different is it?
Completely.
The mental part of it. I'm Carson, you're walking me up, tell me everything you got to check, everything you got to communicate.
It's completely different. I mean, in high school, it's basically what you see out there is what they're going to do. And then in college, you go out there, you have to make sure we do a lot more motions. You do a ton more. Your cadence is everything. Like, cadence is completely different. And then when you get to the defense, you have to see what kind of front they're in. You have to call your protection. Then you have to figure out what their safety's doing.
Right.
And then they're always going to lie. So they're going to be, one will be down, one will be up. Maybe they'll both end up. You never know.
Right.
So it's just trying to get it's just try to see and guess pre-snap, and then post-snap, just play.
Any tells that you've picked up on when those safeties are trying to play some games on you?
A little bit. Our defense is pretty good at hiding them. Our going against our one defense, they're really good at hiding them. They're one of the best defenses in our conference. But we had a few JV games last year. Those definitely helped to being able to see safeties rotate up and down. But it's definitely gotten a lot easier being able to tell if they're leverage inside, outside, if they're going to come down or whatever.
Because you see basically one coverage all game long, right? And probably cover 3, and it's going to be always cover 3, right?
Yeah, there's like very few cover 2 or cover 4s.
Grove runs a 2.
Grove runs a 2. Shawnee runs a 4. But, yeah, that's really it.
Do you school them up a little bit on, hey, this is a way to determine different things?
A lot of times in high school, it's just look them off and throw it back the other way. Because if they're only in a cover 3, that one safety has to cover hash. He can't cover 2 people running up the hashes.
It'd have to be a heck of a human to do that, right? All right, now you told me about the cadence. Give me your cadence right now. You're trying to draw the defensive line off. Come on.
It's not that hard. It's just thinking about the play call and everything. It's just ours is clap, clap, set hut.
Are you in the back doing the Kenny Guyton clap back there?
No, it's just two little claps to get everyone ready and then set hut.
Oh, that's it? The set hut?
Well, and then we'll go. That's just our first cadence, and then it'll be set hut, and then we have one where we include some numbers in there, and then another.
Do you have some guys in your huddle that you're like, I can't go a hard count because we'll move?
Yeah, definitely.
Every huddle has that, right?
Yeah, every huddle does. Even with the 1s, the 2s, every huddle has that one guy. It's just like, you better not move this play.
I'd like to draw the defensive line off, but I can't.
Yeah.
When did the light flash last year when you were like, I can do this. I can play at this level? Because I'm sure when you went in there at first, you're like, whoa, this is. When did it, was it game 6? Was it halfway through the season? When was it that you were like, if I stay with this, I can do this?
It was probably midway through the year after we got a few JV games, and then we got back and we would practice with the 1s, and it was just like finally getting the confidence under. Like, it's like you're a freshman, you're at the bottom, so it's just building up the confidence back to where you can play at that level. And last year. I played some scout team tight end, so they were moving me around. That helped.
Nice catch in the end zone you had.
Yes.
I remember that.
I think it definitely helped. That helped me as a quarterback by being able to run routes and seeing what the defense wants to do with different positions. So I think that helped a lot.
And Brady, you didn't have time to think. You started from game 1.
Yeah.
I mean, when did it slow down for you?
I'd say after. So we switched up our offense like midway through the year. I said once we switched up our offense, it was like because we ran that offense my freshman year, so it just came easier to me. So I'd say that's when it really started to slow down. It was about week 5 because that's when we switched over to our other offense.
I loved what you guys did offensively. I had you guys against Cary last year. I call it the Quatman game. Do you remember that game? He went nuts. He had 3 touchdowns. Yeah, I know, right?
Jumped that screen.
Yeah.
But I watched you, and you just never – and I told Miles this after the game. I said you never panicked. You just always seemed cool under pressure. That's what I liked about you. And it seemed like – and that was game 2. I think it was game 2.
It might have been game 3.
Yeah, it was in there early. But you looked relaxed. Did you feel at that time like, hey, I got a good grasp on this, or you're still learning?
I feel like I was comfortable by then. There was never a point where I was uncomfortable because I knew I have good players around me that can make plays.
Oh, yes, you do.
I just had to stay comfortable, get them the ball, and let them make the plays.
Yeah. Difference, Coach Paulty last year. Now it's not Coach Paulty anymore, right? What's the biggest difference so far?
I'd say last year it was more lean and relaxed. I'd say the intensity is boosted up a lot this year.
That's a first-year head football coach. Yeah.
He's trying to set the
wound
tone.
real tight.
He's setting the tone.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, how about Carson? How about not only football, but you're carrying a full academic load, and it's college work. I used to talk to my daughter about that when she went to college, about balancing all that stuff. It's a tough job.
Yeah, it definitely is a lot. It's a lot more than what for people who aren't athletes. We work out when we start school. We lift in the morning, and then you have classes from your 8 to 2. We're right at 2. We're into meetings and practice till 6:30. I mean, by the time you eat and shower, it's 7:30.
Homework.
Right. So you got to fit in homework from that night, and then you got to rest up. But it's definitely a lot. It's definitely harder. You got to actually pay attention in class to be able to pass it. Yeah.
I wouldn't know what that's like.
Yeah, you got to pay attention.
Over here, he's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, you turn in your homework and pass, but no, you actually got to do good on your test. And
Where are you at on the depth chart right now? When you're going into fall camp, do you anticipate, hey, I am number one on this depth chart?
Not going into fall camp. We have our senior quarterback is returning. He'll be a senior this year.
Drew Gallieu?
Yeah, Drew Gallieu from Eden.
Yeah. 10,000-yard passer at Eden.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he'll be returning this senior year, and then me and another freshman right now, we're 2A, 2B. He said by the end of camp he needs to make a decision on who the backup is.
Okay. All right. Now,
Yeah.
do you ever, Drew, do you need some help getting to class? Oops, you fell down. You ever do anything?
No, I love Drew. Drew's a great kid.
He is. He's
Yeah.
awesome, man.
Is there a lot of camaraderie in that quarterback room?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We brought in 4 freshmen last year, and all 4 of us are super close, and we're all super tight. And then now Drew, this spring, we got a lot closer with Drew because he had some older classmen that he was friends with, but those other quarterbacks they left. So
How tough is that when you walk into that room last year and there's the starter and 5 other quarterbacks, and you're looking around going, I got 4 years to get this done.
Yeah, it was definitely tough. I think last year we had 8 quarterbacks in our
8
quarterback room.
quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and one of them was a transfer, and the other 2 were junior seniors. So it was tough. It's like coming in, it's like those guys are obviously going to get the reps before we do. So early on in fall camp, it was definitely there's a mental struggle of where it's like I feel like I'm not getting reps. I don't have time to prove anything.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's when you can show what you can do, that's when you start moving up.
Brady, your brother plays in college. Is this something that you want to do as well? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I want to go play in college somewhere.
Nice. Anyone that you've been in contact with?
Not really. I mean, ODU's talked to me a little bit, but not really. I think after this year, I may start to get some looks and start to talk to colleges more.
Well, that'd be something else, right? Yeah. If you went there and it'd be the repeat again of what happened at LCC, which takes me to my next question, okay? LCC, a special place. What makes it so special for you guys?
The people. I think the people there. I mean, we could go anywhere and be at a bigger school to get looked at by bigger coaches, but we wouldn't have the bonds and the friendships that we have with people. And when I come back and watch him play any sport, football, basketball, baseball, I can talk to all the coaches, and everyone is just super close there.
I'd also say the environment is what makes it really special. Yeah. The environment, the fan base. Yes, sometimes we don't have a lot of fans that show up, but they're cheer loud. The fan base is amazing.
Still got the T-Bird running around? Can you make him smile after? He's always angry. Can we make him smile after a win, get a different head on him or something?
You guys are super close with your mom and dad. Great people. I've been friends with your dad for many, many years. How much do you guys sit and just talk football? Or when you get together, do you just kind of hang out and just kind of relax and not worry about football? Because I know sports is with your sister and volleyball career and you guys in every sport. Do you guys just kind of get away from it ever?
No. No, not really. No.
It's a sports.
That's
fan.
okay.
Yeah, it's just all sports.
That's what we did. That's what we did.
When we do sit down and talk about football, it's usually just my dad. My mom will walk away. She'll get mad at my dad.
She's
She'll
like,
just
it's
get up
just
and walk.
too much sports.
Is that what she says?
That's all it is. It's just
She turns on Lifetime or something.
sports
There's never
sport.
too much sports. I'm just telling you.
I don't think so. But.
Does mom ever make the family sit down and say, we're going to do this and not talk about sports? Or no? We're going to watch the Hallmark Channel together? Nothing like that? No.
But she's at every one of your games because I see it all over social
Yeah.
media.
Yeah.
Yeah. She supports you guys 100%.
Yeah. She just
and
probably gets tired of talking about it all the time.
What's a cover 2? What's a cover 4?
See, Mom, when the safety's here,
You got to navigate with your eyes, Mom.
make a move, Mom. All right, if you could take one thing from Carson's game and add it to yours, what would it be? And then, Carson, one thing from your brother's game that you could add to yours, what would it be?
You go first.
No.
Man, I don't know. I think we both play very similar. I don't think
I do.
there's – yeah, I'm in.
All right.
The only thing I would take from him is his size.
Not running, yeah.
I run better.
No, you don't.
Oh, Uh-oh, struck a nerve there, didn't we?
We'll race on the show. Yeah.
Slow-footed 40.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So you're saying that you'd take his size? Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you did. You both guys punish people. But
I'd probably take his. If I added an extra, he'll probably be an inch or two taller. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say when you guys were walking in, I thought he was a little bit taller. Yeah,
I'm taller.
Yeah,
definitely taller.
Yeah.
All right, guys, you've been on the show before. You know the question I'm about to ask you. You're in college now. You're in high school. You know the question's coming. One team that you're playing this year that you want to beat bad.
Yeah.
Oh, one?
Yeah, just one.
I'd probably go Finley. At Finley.
Finley.
It's at Finley.
Okay, nice.
Even Pratt said that's not happening.
Did he?
Yeah.
This is
good TV.
I saw Aiden Pratt the other day, so I was like, I didn't know if he was in town. Yeah.
No, I had him on the radio, and he was a great guy.
Yeah, no, Aiden, I like Aiden.
All right, so look, I'm not saying anything, but I am saying like Shawnee put one on you guys last year. Is that who you're picking? It's week 1.
Yes, I want to beat Shawnee, but like
He's gonna pick there's 2 schools.
I'd say Shawnee or Grove.
Ooh.
Yeah, Grove's
well,
a good
here's
one,
the
right?
thing: you're gonna have to beat Grove to win the title,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
It's them or Bluffton that we have to beat to win the title. So
Yeah, hopefully an onside kick works this year, right? This is the weirdest thing. All right, I have 5 rapid-fire questions for you guys. All right,
Have
so
nothing
when
to do with sports.
That's not true. These do. When I ask, just go ahead and blurt out your answer, okay? Of the two of you guys, who's the best athlete?
Carson.
Didn't see that coming, right? Who's the biggest mama's boy?
Carson.
Oh, yeah.
He's the favorite child forever.
Are you? Oh, that was a quick answer, too. The golden child. Not going to dispute it, huh?
No, won't dispute
His
that
mama's boy. Sure, Mom, I'll watch it with you. Of the two of you guys, who can throw the furthest?
Me. No, me.
In high school, me.
Me. No.
Carson, when you were my age, you could not throw as far.
I got those 65 yards in high school.
How far you throwing now?
Yeah, what about now? Who wins that now?
60?
I don't know. 65. It's
Really?
65 now. Same as now. Yeah.
60,
same now.
65?
He said
Really?
66,
60.
but he can't throw 66.
Can you go 66, you think? Well, we have a ball with us right now. All right.
And your mom's right over there.
Who has the best hidden talent between the two?
Oh, I don't think I have like a crazy hidden talent.
Neither do I.
Yeah. I don't-
Really?
Yeah.
All right,
No
go
Billy
figure.
Burke, no.
No,
Billy
I
hasn't
can't.
taught you guys how to play the guitar yet?
No, I don't want to learn.
Smart Billy. He's the only guy that can play. I got you. Okay. All right. Of the two of you guys, who's the best one with the ladies?
Well, I got a girlfriend of 4.5
me.
years, so
Me.
me.
He can keep them. Can you get them?
Yes.
All right. Okay.
What? Never mind.
Never mind.
Throw the ball 65 yards.
All right. Last one for you. How old were you guys each when you realized that you could beat Dad in about everything?
17.
You're going that old?
I mean,
Give me
Dad
30.
was still-
no, think about golf. Like, he could beat you at golf now.
Not now.
Yeah, he could.
Last year? No. The year before? No.
Yeah.
Dad's out there hitting it like Happy
15.
Gilmore, isn't he?
No.
Give me 15.
15? That's when you realize you can beat Dad and everything? Poor Dad. It's all right, Troy.
Who's got more of an edge? Like cutthroat sports and everything.
No, I'd say me.
You guys will be all right once you get confidence.
Yeah.
If you guys get confidence in yourselves, you'll be all right.
Oh, guys, this has been a blast. Thank you guys so much for coming in. We really appreciate it. Best of luck at Ohio Dominican.
thank
Best
you.
of luck at
Thank
LCC. We'll be talking about you all year round. You know, I'm gonna get you on the radio show sometime, and we'll talk some more ball.
Any predictions before you leave?
No, for what?
I don't know. No, just letting you.
Shawnee.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Yeah, let me hear it.
You can make the prediction. He's playing the game. You make the prediction. We
Yeah.
can't make the prediction, but you
Yeah.
can make the prediction.
Oh, I don't know. I think it'll be a good game. I think Shawnee's got the experience on them. I think they're going to be less experienced. So I guess it's a big game. Everyone's going to be there.
It's a big game.
So-
It's turning into a real big game.
And it's
Yeah,
on Thursday.
it's Thursday.
It opens the season every year. I
Yeah.
love it.
Especially last year. That was huge.
Oh, my
With
gosh,
Shawnee
yeah.
winning it. Wow.
Yeah.
We were at Grove.
We were shocked by
we were
that
at Grove and Pandora, and we're watching the score, and we're like, whoa,
Yeah.
this is a great game. Yeah.
I thought the app was broken.
Yeah, no, I think it could be a good game. I think either team could pull away, or I think it could go down to the last possession.
All right, and you call his Dominican Finley game. Who wins it?
You don't know.
Finley.
Oh,
wow.
It's going to be a cold house household. One more night. It's going to be cold.
Companies ain't gonna talk to you no more.
That's awesome.
Guys, best of luck this year.
Thank you.
College and high school. And thank
Thank
you.
you,
Tell your
guys.
dad we said hi. And stop back and see us again.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we'll do.
Thanks a
Thanks,
lot.
fellas.
Yeah, thanks for having
Thank
us.
you.
Week 1 is upon us, gentlemen. High school football is here. I love this time of year. And now we've got football for 15, 16 weeks of high school football, college football, pro football, you name it, we got it.
Football, man.
I know,
Right?
I know,
This
right?
is the best time of the
Yeah.
school year. You start the season off. Now, look, administrators will always tell you this too, right? If your football team gets off to a really good start, so does your school year. So it's not only on the football field it's important, but in the classroom also.
I said this last week, Nate. How awesome are Thursday night opening the year with a Thursday night game? I love it.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, you saw this trend a couple of years ago, and now with officials, and there's all this rationale behind it. But I love a high-profile games. You got these rivalry games now that moved to week 1. This is how teams are kicking off their season. I love it. I think it's awesome.
Well, look, the 3 wise men are here, but we've got so many people wanting to have us have someone in that knows football. We got him here. Chris Howe from the Lyman News. Chris, week 1's upon us.
Guys, I'm just glad we made it here. It was a long off season. It was dark. It was cold. It was stormy. I'm just glad to be here.
We're in the woods.
Is this your personal life? It's a
That
tree
is
of
my
trust
office.
right
He
here.
just locks himself in a cabin in the woods
It's
until
me sitting
fall
in my
comes
office
around.
in the darkness, just thinking about the start of the next football season.
Now, it's an important week for the Lyman News because what happens this week?
We release our football preview, which I've been working on since July 14th with my team. We
It's
put
fantastic.
a tremendous amount of time and effort into it, and we're very proud.
Thanks
of
for
what we're about to
sharing
put
that
out.
with
Yeah.
us. We went through it. It's amazing.
It is fantastic.
Nate, can I
Are
speak?
you guys kidding me?
No.
No.
No, I got it. Yeah.
Can
Are
I
you serious?
can I tell you,
Why
Nate?
is this the world that I have to live
It's
in?
a surprise because
It is a surprise
Danny
to
and
you.
I are going to read it to you.
Oh,
yeah,
thanks.
yeah.
I
It's got
can read.
pictures.
I don't need you
It's got
two to
pictures.
read it to me.
Look, I had to have
That's cute.
it
He
to
thinks
get-
he can read.
I know. I had to have it to get through the season. I mean, the guy knows everything. So.
You know what?
I'm sure he just forgot.
Yeah, I'm sure he did.
All right, guys.
It's in the mail with my Ohio State tickets and my invite to Danny's house to watch games.
But-
it'll all just come at the same time, won't it?
But in all seriousness, though, I thought your story on the 7-on-7 was fantastic. People are going to love that. How much work? Who goes into this with you? I mean, this is a ton of stuff you did.
Guys, it's just a massive team effort over there. I mean, we have 6 writers who contributed to that. We have 6 photographers who all have photographs in there.
The pictures were amazing.
We have some of the best.
Wait till
and
you
I'm
see it,
not
Nate.
kidding. In Northwest Ohio, I think we have the best team and we do the best job. We have the most comprehensive and thorough group out there between Mark and Jim and David Trinko and Hearn and Nate Stidham and Richard Parrish's photos and Nate Reynolds. You know, I could go on and on with our guys, but it's a process that started long ago for me, mid-July. Some guys start earlier. I find starting as close to football season with as much time as you can actually have is the smartest thing to do because you're not going to get anything out of a coach in the
Right.
middle of the summer.
Right.
Everybody loves everybody, and they're all going to win conference championships.
Nobody's
That's all
lost.
good.
Yeah.
I want to talk to them after they've learned something, and I want to get their honest and raw opinions on our topic that we have.
Oh, there's
every
some
year.
honesty in it.
And there was absolutely some honesty, and I think that was my favorite part about it.
Yeah, mine too. I think I can speak for the guys, but it was really enjoyable. Really, I can't wait to see what else you
Can
guys
you
do.
get that to Nate before basketball season?
I mean, I absolutely could.
Yeah, I'll just
Or you
buy.
guys
I'll just
could.
buy it this week when it comes out. 'cause
Now, let me ask you this, okay? Because sometimes things become formulaic, right? He's the quarterback. This is the offensive line. You guys don't do that. You pick like I'll say like a feature of each team, and you kind of build off of that. What goes behind that?
Honestly, it's just background knowledge because I go into an interview with Travis Moyer at Walpock. Let's just give an example.
He's kind of good.
I know Caden Page is awesome. I know Caleb Moyer is awesome. But the theme that I chose to focus on was a historic senior class that is a historic senior class that came in as almost a 40-man freshman class.
Wow.
And it's one that they may never see again. So we just talked about kids up and down from Wyatt Buell to Andre Longsworth to all those guys, all those glue guys, Ryan Richardson, maybe that don't get it as much of the pub. And then, I slide over to Kenton, and they've got a super interesting camp battle going on in quarterbacks. They have 3 guys vying for the job, including a freshman that Zach Turner's very high on. Spoiler alert, Blaine Bushung's going to start for them on Friday.
Okay.
So when you read that, you'll just have to take that into account. But a lot of very interesting conversations and a lot of I guess you just have to pick a lane and you have to make it more interesting, because when somebody opens that and they already know what they're about to read and then they read it, there's no point in really what you put together.
Well, guys, let's get right to it. It is week 1, and Thursday night we kick off the season with a dandy LCC and Shawnee battling again. What a great game we had last year. Guys, for me, I want to see how LCC does with a brand new coach. Colin Stolley is now running the show over there. Look, from the article I got from Chris, 17 out of 20 years this LCC program's had 8 or more wins, okay? Now, look. That's a culture. That's a culture. That's winning. Can they continue that with Coach Stolley?
Well, Mark Shine and Jerry Snodgrass, boy, I'm jealous of those guys. They're going to be calling it. They're going to do a great job on that. To me, Nate, one of the biggest themes I think is, Shawnee with that 3-4 defense. Sometimes with a 3-4, you think you're packing the box, but where do your outside linebackers in a 3-4 mostly go? They go outside, right? And then before you know it, you only have 5 in the box stopping A and B gap run. Where does LCC love to run the football? Okay. The cannonball Eddie White's going to be between the tackles. Brady Parker is a big hammer. What are they going to do there to stop that LCC run game? Now, on the other side, boy, this is a much bigger Shawnee offensive line than a really tiny LCC defensive line. I really think whoever runs the football most and more successfully in this game is going to win it.
When you look at that Shawnee line, though, you're really going to see a big hole left by Achias Richardson.
Absolutely.
And they've got to find that guy that's going to step up and kind of fill that role for them. They have a couple of options. We'll see what they choose to do. And I think we might see some wrinkles offensively as well. Shawnee has J.J. Spiker, the all-everything quarterback.
What a coming-out party a year ago.
Yeah, can throw, can run. The game last year really turned on that. He had an 80-plus yard touchdown run right towards the end of that first half, followed up by a pick 6 for Shawnee that pretty much swung all the momentum on their favor, and then they were able to hold on and capitalize off of that. But Spiker wasn't healthy all last year. He had to battle some injuries. Those injuries really kind of turned the tide for that Shawnee team and a lot of that momentum they had early. Can he stay healthy? Can they keep him upright? He can't take as many hits as he took last year. That O-line has got to be better this year. That's going to be the first thing that we have to see out of Shawnee.
Chris, you look at Lima Shawnee, second year for Coach Wireman. He's got a big game to open up with. But I look at that schedule, and I look at the bottom 4 games. He's got Wapak, St. Mary's, Van Wert, OG. He's got to keep those kids healthy all year long, and it starts with J.J. Spiker and Dalton Hobson and Isaac Meeks in that backfield.
Guys, there's no such thing as a win now in week 1, but this is pretty close for LCC just because they start out with their first 3 games on the road. They go to Delphos St. John's at 1:30 on a Saturday after this, and then to Cary. Cary's a big, tough team that loves to run the ball.
They do.
And then in week 4, they get Allen East. So when you look at how crucial this is to just setting the tone for the season and, frankly, just getting that monkey off Colin Stolley's back as a first-time head coach, because it's got to be your hardest win to get is your first one, right? I mean, it took Miles. How long did it take you? Over a year to get your first?
I got a letter in the mail. Team we played at, an eligible player, got my first varsity win in a letter.
It's interesting that some of the parallels that we see in this year's matchup compared to last year's matchup. Right, last year Shawnee coming in, brand new head coach, trying to turn the tables, get that program going back in the right direction. First year head coach this year for LCC. We know the success. This program doesn't need to be turned around, but it's sustaining that and having to do it with some new faces. Matthew Quatman no longer in that program. Sure. They relied on him heavily. Even last year when he was injured, even just him being able to go really out on the field drew enough attention from teams that opened other things up. Last year, you're looking at Brady Parker's first game as a varsity player. It was a little bit of a shaky start, but he still had really good numbers. He threw 11 of 25, 192 yards. He had 55 rush yards, 2 touchdowns.
That's a game you did last year, right?
It was. Yeah. And, he still looked good, but you could tell in the moments. Look, I mean, at the end of the day, a first-time starter, you're going to have these hiccups. Brady Parker very much improved as the year goes on, now in full control of that offense, and he still has playmakers around him. They still have Michael Quatman in there. Lawson Flores is going to be a fantastic playmaker for them. Eddie White, I think Eddie White is going to be an absolute handful.
He's going to be a problem for everybody.
If he even has just a little bit of a gap, he is going to make somebody pay if they try to fill it. There's playmakers all around, and now you also have a very experienced offensive and defensive line. This is a program and a line on both sides of the football that started all freshmen not that long ago. These guys now have experience. It's time for them to make the next step.
Wasn't there like a catch in the end zone that was amazing?
It was it may have been a catch of the
You got
year.
to be
That's
kidding me.
what it was.
Yeah,
That's what it was.
I watched that last night, as a matter of fact.
Another player, though, not there anymore in Cowan. You know, Milan has moved on as well. So they're going to have some, you know, Xavier Purnell's a new wide receiver. That's a name that we're going to hear a lot from that LCC offense. They're going to be relying on him. But the tried and true for LCC, the names that we're used to calling, it's going to be their time. This is an experienced group with a lot of varsity minutes underneath them that are used to winning. A lot of this is going to just depend on how well they all mesh, regardless of how long you've been in a program. And, you know, Coach Stolly's been in this program for over a decade at this point. A new head coach is still a new head coach.
True.
Now everything starts and ends with you. You got to know situational, you know, when to call timeout, when not to call timeout. We're going to accept penalties, not accept penalties. All those things now come through you
Game management.
on top of all the other things that are going through you as a head coach. You know, and those are the things that we're going to see how long that
Learning
takes.
to say no.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And how long it's going to take. Coach Stolly, you know, if he gets it right away, this LCC team, the sky's the limit.
Yeah.
Let me comment real quick, though. You guys kept bringing up J.J. Spiker, and, of course, running the football, real important, right? If you're LCC, though, you have to feel really good because you got Caden Falke, who you can say just key J.J. Spiker, right? And that will probably take away that quarterback run. Caden Falke is one of the best defensive linebackers in Northwest Ohio. By the way, he's going to be on the show next week along with Coach Stolly, so got to make sure that he gets a lot of props.
Absolutely. I mean, I think the big thing for Shawnee is going to be, you know, last year we saw that J.J. Spiker was able to do what he did. He had some different receivers he was able to hit. The secondary of Shawnee, though, all last year is really where they kind of struggled the most. They really stopped. They couldn't stop a lot of people from scoring. Last time we saw Shawnee on the field was that game against Kenton where they both scored 1,000 points.
It was
right?
just- it was
So
basketball
back
on
and
grass,
forth,
yeah.
back and forth.
That Michael Garlock was good.
He was
You know,
really good.
But
Really good.
that secondary from Shawnee was a weakness last year. It has to take a step up because this LCC team is going to throw the ball.
Gotta throw it deep, baby.
Brady Parker has a strong arm. He's accurate, and even if everything's covered, we know that he can still do damage with his legs. Really started picking up the running game with him later in the season last year. It's going to be a big challenge for Shawnee. You know, numbers are a little bit down in that Shawnee program. They only had, I think, 6 or 7 freshmen come out.
14 seniors.
Yeah, so they're rebuilding still, but we know Coach Wireman knows how to coach. He doesn't need a team of 100. You give him what he's got.
Helps.
He tends to get the best out of what he has. But this is a big challenge for them. This is an experienced LCC team, very different than they saw last year.
This is if any game we talk about this weekend depends upon the quarterback play. You look at both these teams, and Brady Parker, we kind of forget last year he just learned how to do it. You know, he was the leader last year, and he still goes 1,300 yards, throws for 15 touchdowns, runs for 800 yards, and 12 touchdowns.
And he's bigger this year.
And he's bigger, stronger, faster, and he's had a full year under his belt. I'm excited for him.
And you kind of saw last year when it clicked for Brady Parker,
Yeah.
the offense took off. So his early season numbers kind of kept those numbers you just said from being even bigger. But once it clicked for him, that offense took off, and we saw a lot of success out of it.
One last thing about Coach Stolly, okay? Anytime you come in as a new head coach, you might want to just clear house, right? No, he kept a lot of guys that have been part of that program forever.
Well, yeah.
One thing LCC is always fantastic with is special teams. People forget how important those are, especially early in the season. Look for them to have an advantage with that on Thursday.
Nate, you and I were at the LCC Bath scrimmage last week, and the one thing I noticed about Brady Parker is the fact that he spreaded the ball around to almost everybody. Xavier Purnell, Austin Flores, Matthew Quatman took a 35-yard
Flores,
screen
boy,
to the
that kid's
house.
fast.
They even got Caden Falke involved a little bit on offense too. He's just got a plethora of options. He's just got to. They got to let him do his thing. He only had 135 pass attempts last year. Let him throw the ball down the field a couple times. He can make some exciting things happen.
Let him throw deep 135 times. I'm for it.
Guys, game number 2 takes us Columbus Grove, Pandora, Gilboa. Our own Nate Garlock, Dar Nevergall on the call. Look, Columbus Grove 14-1. It's not a football team. It's a program. I think we can all agree on that.
You just kind of reload,
Yeah,
right?
they just reload. Look, you want to talk about, they got to replace Trenton Barraza. They got to replace Kalen Mays. They got to remember when they had to replace Blake Reynolds. Remember when they had to replace Tad Koch. Remember when they had to replace AJ Schaefer. Well, they just keep doing it.
Well,
They just keep doing
you
it.
always talk to the people over there, and they're always like, well, our 8th grade did this.
I know,
our 7th
right?
grade did this. That's, yeah, we get it. You got a program. Guys keep coming in. Real excited, though, for Landon Best to get back on the football field, right? They
He's a
say
good player.
the staff over there said that his deep ball has really improved, which it should as you get older as a quarterback, right? But it'll be real important for him. You get those nerves. You get that excitement. I'm a senior.
here, and sometimes you want to do too much, right? Let the game come to you. First time back on the field in a while, just let the game kind of develop. Don't try to go crazy and score 72 points on one play.
The biggest trick, though, is, Landon Best is back, right? Trevin Baxter is back. I mean, they have
that kid's electric.
They have playmakers back for them, but that's about it as far as names that we're used to calling. 8 of 11 gone on offense, 9 of 11 gone on defense. Landon Best has to stay upright. They've got to fill that hole. The only returning offensive lineman is Jacob Leininger.
He's a good one,
and he is. But there's got to be other guys on that line.
Continuity's got to come.
And so if you're Pandora Gilboa, this is a series that you haven't had a ton of success in, right? 17-36, Pandora 4-6 in the last 10 in this series against Columbus Grove, but. This is a Pandora team that's returning some playmakers on their own, right? They have their quarterback, Corey Gurton, coming back, running back, Ben Burkholder's coming
He's a
back,
stud. Yeah.
Chase Myers coming back as well. This is a group that has played a lot of varsity minutes as a team. If they're going to get over this hump, right, and they're going to beat Columbus Grove this year and get their seasons kicked off in the right way, because this is a team that knows at the end of the day, right, especially for a conference title, Liberty Benton is it. Their non-conference is brutal. They start with Columbus Grove. They got Bluffton in week 2. But
Lipstick week 4.
And Lipstick week 4.
Patrick Henry week 3.
So they have a very tough schedule. Yeah. Last year they started 0-2. But if you're going to get those wins back, this might be the year. Columbus Grove and Bluffton, they still got to figure some things out. I think, you give these programs the benefit of the doubt as far as reloading and not rebuilding. However, you want to get them early, not late.
Chris, one of the issues that PG's had is turning over the football. Is Corey Gurton the guy that's going to learn how to take care of the football as a senior?
I mean, at this point, he's a veteran at the position, so you would hope he's taken a couple steps forward in that. The problem was when he was a sophomore quarterback, he had his best wide receiving core.
Oh, he sure did.
Oh, really good.
And so last year was kind of an adjustment coming back. But he's got a guy like Chase Meyer out there, and he's got a safety blanket in Ben Burkholder, too. Pandora Gilboa, last time they won this game was in 2023, and that was on their home field. I think if you're ever going to catch Grove on their heels, it's going to be early in the season. It's going to be a year like this where they have a lot of uncertainty on the lines and in some of the playmaker positions. But, for Pandora Gilboa, this is one of your best opportunities in the last 5 years to get a win against Grove.
I'll say this, though. If you ever need a field goal kicker, go to Grove. They know how to teach them how to kick, and they got a dandy in Evan Veerhoff. And especially this year when your unknowns are in the backfield, you don't know how much you're going to move the ball. What a luxury it is to have a kid who goes 75 of 77 in extra points and 3 of 5 in field goals last year. And who knows what he can do this year? Who knows what he's going to be asked to do this year, right?
Unless you're talking to Miles, because kickers aren't people.
That's right. I said that in the NFL.
He did. I think you're great, Evan. I think you are.
I think the other big piece here, too, is you're talking about this defense of Columbus Grove was fantastic last year. 11.7 points per game. They only gave up more than 20 points one time, and that was in that playoff loss to Marion Local, and everybody gave up more than 20 points to Marion Local. No shame in that whatsoever. I mean, this was a historically good defense for Columbus Grove. As we mentioned, though, 8 of 11 of those guys gone. They have to replace them. Yep. That is a tall task for what was phenomenal defense last year.
You had Mays, which was unblockable, right? Yep. And then you had 3 linebackers who was as fast as anybody and a linebacking core. Andy Cole's, though, a defensive coordinator, he's going to figure things out. That's just a defense that's going to maybe slowly turn into shape and form, but I think they'll be solid later down the road.
Yeah, let's just ask. Let me find out from you guys. With all the unknowns with Columbus Grove, I've got them either 2 or 3 in the conference. Where do you guys see them? I just have them 2 or 3 because they just reload so well and they're so well coached.
Yeah, I mean, I think Columbus Grove has reached a point in their program's history. We know they just took over the lead in the most NWC titles from Delphus Jefferson by winning the conference title last year. It's hard to say they're not top of the conference until somebody proves that they're better. I mean, they just get the benefit of the doubt right now.
Well, let me ask you this.
NWC.
Let me ask you this, though. Who would you look at in that conference and say, well, they might be more physical than Columbus Grove?
Well, this year you got to look at Bluffton, right?
I don't know. Nobody's ever more physical than Grove, though, right?
It's tough. I mean, I'm just a big believer in what Andy Schaefer's built over there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Last year, he coached a masterclass when he lost his quarterback in week 2 and then just pieced it together. Yeah. And then they ended up winning every game except for the one against Marion Local, which nobody did that. So, I mean, you just look at all the pieces. that you have to work with there. He's got a good base. He's just got to kind of shore up that offensive line, defensive line. And, guys, I think Trevin Baxter is one of the more underrated players in our area.
He's electric, man.
If you remember that regional championship game last year against St. John's, they won 14-0. He had 2 touchdowns and an interception in that guy. One of the best two-way kids in our area.
Yeah, well, and his brother is right there with him. Is a good player as well, looking to take a next step this year and be way more involved in what they do there as well.
And don't forget about Gavin Barraza, too. He's a stud as well.
Guys, game 3, Ottawa Glandorf, Liberty Benton, Randy Roberts, and our own Miles Holiday. OG 6-6 last year. Liberty Benton 11-2. Guys, Liberty Benton has skill position players everywhere. This is going to be a tall task for Ottawa Glandorf. They've got to get the lead and hold the ball and hold the ball and hold the ball, right?
I think you're asking for a lot.
I know.
I think Carson Yeager eventually is going to be a really good quarterback for OG, but OG, pretty good year last year. But, boy, they graduated a ton. Everybody talks about how great that defense was a year ago. 6 starters off that defense are gone. I think OG has more questions going into this game, an opener that they haven't won an opener in 5 years, own the last 4, and then they got to go to Liberty Benton, a team that just absolutely dominated them a year ago. Liberty Benton, studs absolutely everywhere. I just think OG has too many questions to win this football game.
I mean, OG kind of came out of nowhere last year. Nobody really expected them to have the season that they had.
We were surprised.
That was the second best defense in the Western Buckeye League behind Walpock. What Coach Schreiner did with that group was phenomenal. Offensively, they did struggle a little bit. Running was pretty much their identity. You could see Peyton Coleman would throw from when they needed to, but they were a run-heavy team. Those guys are gone. Those 9 of the 11 offensive starters are gone. They've got to fill a lot of holes, and that seems to be a theme right now for a lot of these teams. Is there's just so much graduation going on, and so many teams have got to fill things. Ottawa Glandorf is one of those teams, though. Unlike maybe Columbus Grove, Coach Schreiner's won a ton of football games, right?
204.
Over 300 wins, right?
204.
Over 200 wins. Yeah. Phenomenal coach. He knows how to coach football, but it's not. They're not where like a Columbus Grove is right now, where you just expect new guys to slide in. OG's had some down years. Last year, a 500 team kind of came out of nowhere. Now you have to lost all these and you got to replace them. That is a tough ask, I think, for where that program is right now. And then you're going against a Liberty Benton team that returns almost everybody, right? They've lost one guy on that on that defense. That was
lost
ridiculous.
a quarterback, which is
4 on offense, including the quarterback. But they're still.
Find one.
But yeah, and they have. Like you guys mentioned, they have playmakers all over the place. You know, the big question for Liberty Benton going into this season is can they – we know they ran through the BVC last year, but when they played their 2 best teams, they struggled. They did not look good. Columbus Grove and Liberty Center to end the year, they really struggled. That's the next real question for Liberty Benton.
Everybody struggles against Liberty Center.
Well, that's fair. But the next question for Liberty Benton, though, is can they take that step?
That's a good question, and one that they think they have. Look, Randy Roberts and I went to the scrimmage when they scrimmaged Wayne Trace. Will Granger, number 78 for Liberty Benton, nobody blocks him. Nobody blocks this guy. Wayne Trace had no chance. I don't know how Ottawa Glandorf is going to block him. He's going to be the best player on the line of scrimmage. You put that combined with the skill positions. I mean, it's unbelievable group that Liberty Benton has. Just a tough ask for week 1 for Ottawa Glandorf.
Agreed.
Guys, next up, Fort Loramie and Minster. Dave Bowen, Jack McGuire. This Fort Loramie team, Mark Shine's really high on them. Very, very high on them. Minster, they've lost a lot of key players. I thought Brogan Steffi was going to get drafted by the Browns. I was upset. You know my love for the kid.
He'd be the best one.
He would be the best quarterback in the league.
They need another one.
Yeah.
Guys, one of the best coaches around in Spencer Walls. In his 7 years at Fort Loramie, they've made the playoffs and won a game 7 times. It's pretty spectacular. In Fort Loramie, one thing they have on their side this year is numbers. They got 61 players on that roster, and then they have 43 players on their junior high team. So this is going to be a deep program for years to come. They're going to look at a guy like Tanner Heckman to be their new quarterback, and they've lost a bunch of weapons: Thomas Hoying, Maxwell Meyer, and Gabe Hart at quarterback. But they're going to be able to lean on some of those new pieces. Now, Minster, they come into this as a completely unknown team. The rumor is they have to find a starter at every position.
Yeah.
After replacing 3 All-State players and 18 Lettermen. This is going to be a game where we're just going to learn who is who in a game like this.
But maybe put name tags on.
Please do. Names on the back of jerseys, something. Help me.
And here's the thing about Fort Loramie that I think a lot of people forget, including me. They just started playing varsity football in 2005.
That's a great point. Yeah.
This is a young program. And since 2005, do you guys know how many losing seasons they have had?
Will you tell us?
Can't be many.
1. Whoa. They were 4-6 back in 2021. That was the first losing season in program history. Somehow Fort Loramie gets completely just forgotten.
Yeah.
And it's a program that every year finds a way to win. They've had a ton of success. They've won district title. I mean, they have been a very, very good team now ever since they came into existence. Now they're going to be young up front. They got a lot of places or a lot of replacements that they got to do. But this is also a program that has had a lot of success with those young guys. Now, it's probably a little unrealistic to expect those guys to all make that transition to varsity,
especially
and to
week
be
one.
good right away, especially in week 1. However, as you guys mentioned, this is a Minster team that we don't know. I mean, it's just that simple.
That was the toughest team to prep for
You
this
just-
segment. It really
you
was.
just don't know what is going to happen or what you're going to see. Yeah. I don't know what to make of this team because, quite frankly, both of them have had success. They're good programs. And they know how to win. But there is so much new in both of these programs. It's hard to know what you're going to see Friday.
So 11 guys on offense that started, gone. 11 guys that started on defense at different times, gone. But what we do know, Cole Albers is there, right? Love that kid. Seth Whiting's still the head football coach. I like that known quantity for Minster.
Is it true, Miles, that Carla Siegel is the football coach at Fort Loramie?
She would win, I tell you that.
She's a winner,
I
yeah.
think the conditioning coach, maybe not.
I've seen her get fired up on the sidelines. She'd do a great job. All right, guys, let's go over to Hardin County for our last game. Upper Side of Valley and Ada. Myself and Darren Gilbert will be on the call for this one.
Are you guys going to be on the roof?
We're going to be in the press box. Got it covered already.
on the roof.
I got it covered.
Come on.
He only hits the moon. It's embarrassing.
I want to go up there, Danny.
It's
guys,
just one big step for him. Like, what's he worried about?
One giant leap.
Both these programs lost their quarterback to graduation. Maddox Underwood, all everything for Upper Side of Valley, along with Mason Thompson, both 4-year players, fantastic culture guys. And then you look over to Ada, they lost Levi Green. He was an everything. This is an old-fashioned rivalry. I've said this. They should play this every year, and they haven't in past years.
Well, they should.
But they're 5 miles from each other, and it's a rivalry.
Do they play for the Danny Holbrook Trophy?
No, no, they forgot about me a long time ago.
Okay, this is a rivalry you were in, though,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You did not ever win this rivalry.
We were 0-40 my 4 years.
Yeah. How do you have a tight end like Danny Holbrook and
yeah,
win football
yeah,
games?
Because you had a tight end
Like
like
Danny
Holbrook. Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong again. This is a rivalry that's been dominated by Ada, correct?
It has.
All right, how many in a row for them?
Oh, I couldn't tell you how many.
Anybody?
It's I was going to say it's a lot.
15 in a row.
I try to forget that
This
stuff,
is a
yeah.
29-5 rivalry in favor of Ada. Only 5 times has USV figured out how to beat them.
All right, so USV didn't beat them last year with Maddox Underwood, right?
Correct.
The last 2 years have been 1-point games. I
No
believe.
Maddox Underwood?
Nope.
I like Ada.
No Levi Green for Ada. Yeah.
Don't matter.
Last time USV had a win in this series was 1996. Now, as you mentioned, it's not played every year. They've had breaks in this since
they
then.
have.
15 straight. It is one of the crazier stats that you're going to see. You could have given me 100 years and a ton of money. There's no way I would have ever guessed this lopsided in this rivalry.
Why would we give you 100 years?
Because why not?
Yeah.
All right.
Why'd you do that to him? He had a nice point going.
Like we're going to ask you 100 every year for 100 years?
Maybe you don't
He
know.
had a nice thing going.
And the money?
You ask us a lot of questions repeatedly that we continue to answer. It happens, man.
Do I do that? Correct me if I'm wrong.
But
Circle back to your point.
But as we mentioned, Ada having to replace a lot on offense. Again, we're keeping with this theme where you've got a lot of teams that have lost a lot of key pieces that we've said these kids' names a lot over the last 3 or 4 years. USV's in the kind of the same spot. Ryan Roberts is a really good football player, though. He had a lot to do with that success of that offense. Bo Sanders is still on that line.
He's going to have to show
hand
up
the
big.
ball to Ryan Roberts, run. run behind Bo Sanders. Yep. I think good things will happen. If they can get that combination to show up on Friday night and play the way that they can play, I think that's going to be successful.
Chris,
for them.
2 new quarterbacks in this rivalry. Who's got the advantage?
I think Caden Lowry does in this one, just because, I haven't seen him play, but I've heard Dustin Price talk about him, and he said he's a kid he's been in a smaller role these past couple of years, but he's very capable of taking it on, and he's got the luxury of having Bo Sanders in front of him and Ryan Roberts behind him. And Ada, just having to replace that production of Levi Green and Kane Fisher, 2,300 yards and 34 touchdowns last year. Yeah. Now, I don't think anybody can replicate that. It's a tall task on USV's side, too, with Maddox Underwood, but we also look at a guy who's not back in Mason Thompson, who's a huge player for them as well. I couldn't even really tell you what I expect from this game. I hope you guys get a good one.
Look at this, guys. One of the guys I picked for the Special Teams Player of the Year here on WSN was Caleb Hickman, who is electric when he gets the ball in his hands, and he's doing it by himself. He shared a lot of time with Kane Fisher last year. He's going to be counted on a lot. There's a lot of really good skill position players for Ada. They've got a fast turf over there. I look for a really good game Friday night.
And I think it'll be a little bit closer than what people maybe think because, look, nobody saw this Ada offense exploding last year and averaging over 32 points a game. That was a shock to a lot of people. They fit very well with the BVC and everything that Coach Smith did with them over there. So they may come back a little bit, especially to start as they're figuring some things out. And that's where USV, I think, should try to take advantage. Again, the rivalry game, too, it's hard. I mean, this was a 15-14 game. The USV led for most of it last year until late in that one. You never really know when you come to these rivalry games.
Yeah, it's a big rivalry.
If it's close, though, you got to favor Ada, right? Because USV will have that mindset, here we go again, right? Danny, when you played and you guys were trailing in the second half, what was the mindset for you guys?
It was out of hand.
Yeah.
There was no chance.
In pregame, when it was close, what was the mindset?
Look, Dustin Price does a great job at Upper Side. For the numbers he has and the amount of kids that come out, he does a fantastic job. And the fact that they were 8-3 last year, they went to the playoffs. They had Delphos St. John's on the road, fellas. They really did. He does a good job. Caden Lowry, really good athlete. I know the family, great kid. I think they're going to be all right. With Ada being at home, it's going to be a tough task for USV.
And look, in all these games that we've previewed and all these teams, one of the things that we've talked about is change and how many new playmakers are going to have to be out there, how many kids graduate. There's not one of these coaches, though, that are going, people will feel bad for us, and we want everybody to feel bad for us, and they should take – no, they know that, listen, it's a new year, we're new teams, no one's going to feel sorry for us. They get that message to their players, and a lot of these guys, or a lot of these teams have had so much success. A lot of these guys are just going to pick up right where they left off, and I think we're going to be a little bit surprised how easily some of these teams have moved on from kids that we thought that would take a while to replace.
Welcome back into the studio. It's time for one of the greatest segments ever. Brand new. It's going to go down in history as one of the best, and it's called Viewer Letters.
Are you going to sing the jingle, We Got Letters?
Oh, we got letters. We get those letters every day. Mailman, mailman, mail today. Send me out a letter today.
What are we doing? What is this?
Hey, do you want that or...
No.
I kind of want to go home.
All right, letter number 1. This is from Julie in Roundhead.
This is so made up. She never sent a letter in.
Julie from Roundhead.
Whatever.
I like the new setup for the show, but will you ever bring the one camera shot back that just stays on Danny? Well, what do you guys think?
Yeah, I think it's a must. People are writing in. Absolutely, people are writing in. I can't enjoy the comfort of saying something without you two in the shot. And the 7th grade laughing, the tomfoolery I deal with every day.
Tomfoolery.
Yeah, I'm a professional. If my dad were here right now, he would slap both of you.
All right, so do you want to tell everybody who Julie is in Roundhead?
My wife.
Why would she write in wanting to one cam?
She didn't. She doesn't
says
know
it
I
right
do
here.
This show.
It says it right here.
Yeah.
Did you put her up to this?
Whatever. Read another letter.
Didn't she? Well, wait. Nate, what do you think? The one cam back on Danny like we used to have? Or
I
what?
mean, I say no, but I think that when it's Mr. Holbrook's show, we don't have a lot of say in how this production's run anyway. We're just fortunate enough to be allowed to come in here and occasionally talk on this show.
I don't know.
Thank you.
You already broke one camera. I'm not sure we can afford two.
Read another letter.
Nate, you want to take another one?
Sure, I'll take one. Letter from David in Convoy. Do you believe players have enough time to get prepared before the first football game?
That's actually a pretty good question, isn't it?
No, I think they have plenty of time.
Do you?
Yeah. What do you mean all summer long and the start of fall camp? And I know that they're splitting times between basketball and football and other sports in the summer. Look, we've taken high school football and it's too long, anyways. Let's be honest. I think we all three would agree with that.
I disagree.
Yeah. Do you really?
I do. And I will submit to you the number of cramping issues that we'll have in the first 2 weeks. What happens every year? We have 3 or 4 kids cramp up in the first game, and it says that are those kids ready to play football in your estimation?
Well, I don't think that has anything to do with the practice
that
time.
has-
I think
I do.
That's
Because
just
you
a
haven't
lack.
had game situations. Like, think about how many teams in that second scrimmage this year didn't even scrimmage more than a quarter with their starters, right? And so you're supposed to go from playing a quarter live game action into actual full week of play. I don't think that's enough time. I would add another week and let them have 3 scrimmages. That way you can ramp up to it. Also, look at the play on the offensive and defensive line of scrimmages. I think it's vastly unfair what we do to big kids in football and ask them to play a game after putting pads on 2 weeks before that.
Miles, we're going from the middle of July almost to Christmas right now for high school football.
I'm saying let them be in pads earlier. Give them an extra week of being in pads.
Yeah, but how does that, let's just say this weekend the temperatures are 95.
It will be.
They will be.
Yeah.
But that's all about hydration, nutrition, and being ready.
That's being in game situations, though. You cannot really be prepared to play in a game until you've been in game situations. I'm saying in the scrimmage type world that we're in, they don't ever simulate playing 4 quarters of football. Give them that extra week so they can have that.
I also think it's really funny that you think that they didn't put pads on until 2 weeks ago. Wait, that's a hot take right there, Miles.
So you guys think that's enough
I
time?
think it's fine. I think
it's
the
fine.
extra days that they gave teams now that they can use in May and June to do more than what they typically had done in years past. Football is a year-round anyway, as far as the weight room goes. They're still working through things. I think that there's more than enough time, and I think how coaches choose to use their time, I think that's part of the strategy, and that's part of the coaching. I think you have coaches who are more than comfortable with not having their kids in full pads until a little bit later, working on different things. We have 7-on-7s starting in June, and there'll be teams that do 2 7-on-7s for the entire month. Their offense is ready to roll.
It is, but who are you leaving out when it comes to 7-on-7s?
Well, but they've
You're
started
leaving
to
out
change
your
that.
big kids.
Well, now you're starting to see lineman challenges and all these other things happening as well. I don't. Granted, I'm not a football coach though. So from my point of view is going to be very different, I would guess, than probably these head coaches who would love to have their kids all the time anyway.
Let me
Coach
ask you
Miles.
this. Let me ask you this, okay? Why do we have basketball in the summer when that's not the next season? Why do we have that?
Because the kids are
Get rid of basketball in the summer. Let it be football preparation time because football is the best sport that we play.
That is a word from Coach Holliday.
Well, and also too is availability. You got to take the time in the summer when the kids are available, right?
Right, so get rid of it. No availability for basketball, just football only.
Yeah, good luck. Let me know how
Yeah,
that
good
goes,
luck,
big
yeah,
guy.
okay.
Let me
Yeah,
know how that
yeah,
crusade
yeah,
works for you,
yeah.
okay?
All right, guys, letter number 3. This is Tim from Lima. He says, what do you guys think of Lima Senior's new helmets? I don't know if you know this, but Lima Senior unveiled their black helmets. All
Chrome
black,
stripes,
Chrome
too.
stripe, yeah. What do you guys think of the new helmets?
Listen, I like any time that a school adapts, there's adjustments. I like different uniform designs, alternate things. And if schools decide they want to go a different direction with color schemes, I think that there's nothing wrong with that. That's fine. When a school started, they didn't have a color and they just chose this is what it is. We're seeing this all over the place. You're seeing it from, you even go down to midgets. Midget teams have different jerseys now. They can go alternative. We see high schools change all the time when it comes to like military appreciation. We see it during breast cancer awareness as well. There's a lot of alternate things now. It doesn't take away from maybe what a school is in their primary colors, but there's nothing wrong with having new colors or adjusting and getting new things. There's nothing wrong with that.
Hey, Michael just played high school football, right?
Correct.
when they brought out new jerseys, new
Oh,
swag,
they loved it.
What happens? They get excited,
Oh,
don't
yeah,
they?
absolutely.
Why wouldn't you want kids to be excited about things, right?
What do you say to the old alumni that say there's no black in the school collars at Lima Senior?
Things change, man.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, you know, and I do get it. There are people who are traditionalists and they like what they like and they don't want to see anything different from that. But that's just not how things go from time for anymore.
You gotta be willing to go with the changes.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
And if, you know, an administration's like, hey, we want to try something different, or a football coach wants to try something different, great. Go for it.
Like
Go for it.
if a basketball team wanted to have black jerseys and they want to put them on in the winter, go ahead. But in the summer, no, because basketball's not allowed.
Yeah,
right?
listen, I can tell you, when I coached lacrosse,
He's
right?
gonna bash basketball.
Yeah, I know. You just got to move on. Listen,
I bet
this
he calls
is
basketball games for WSM.
listen. This
Yeah.
is
I
the
love
thing.
basketball.
This
It
is
should be
the
in the
thing
summer,
that the
though.
viewers have to learn about Miles. Sometimes you have to cut a train of thought off real quick. You don't acknowledge it. You just keep going and you move on, and it stops.
Now he
It'll
says
be
no
fine.
basketball in the summer, but I bet he puts the football players in the weight room in the winter.
Oh, 100%.
That's weight room. That has nothing to do with football.
And
We're not throwing a
where'd you come
football
from?
around.
Tennessee?
Yeah.
Spring football?
This is
yeah,
the same
absolutely.
guy.
We had spring football.
Yeah,
That was awesome.
This is the same guy that gave me heck about wanting to sit in a dome stadium and then said he wouldn't go watch the Tigers play in April because it was too cold.
Oh, weird.
Well, they were bad also.
But no, like what I was saying, like, you know, all sports are like this. It's not just football. When I coached lacrosse at Lima Senior, the kids wanted different colored jerseys. I looked at them. I liked them. I thought the black looked good with the red. It was a good alternate jersey. So we went ahead and got alternate jerseys. We still had our reds. We still had our whites. But, you pulled the black out occasionally. It looked good. Everybody enjoyed it. I felt like it kind of helped hype us up to make a game stand out, make it different. Nothing wrong with it. I like it. You know, I think that all schools who do it, because you see this out of more than just one school. Every school in our area alternates things, changes colors, does different things. I like it. I think it's good.
I think Tim from Lima, if he had his way, they'd be wearing Chuck Taylor's to play in too, right? Wouldn't they?
Chuck Taylor's are good shoes, yeah. And that is viewer letters. If you would like to send in something for us to answer, it doesn't have to be sports. It can be whatever you want it to be. Just send to 3wisemen@WTLW.com, and we'll get back with you.
And it's a real email address. This isn't one of Miles's things. This is a real thing that we want to do. So please send your letters in. Don't worry.
He's talking straight to him in the living room right there.
It's listen. Tune these guys out. It's just you and me right now, all right? The emails are legit. It's a real address. We want to hear from you guys.
Have you worked telethons? Like, I'm going to donate money to get a tote bag from you.
Welcome back into the Three Wise Men. Danny Holbrook, Nate Garlock. Nate, it's time to pick some games. But
Yeah, let's do it, man. I'm ready.
well, here's the thing.
Wait, I'm not doing it?
No, you and I aren't going to do it. We're bringing a special guest in to do it, okay?
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, our special guest star is Hard Rock Holiday. Yeah.
What are we doing?
We're just picking games, yeah.
Hard Rock Holiday knows that you guys are big fans, so there's a do-rag for you, Nate Dogg.
Oh, Nate Dogg, thank you.
Well, why a do-rag for me?
Your shiny head. And there's a little band for you, my friend.
Ooh, is it a dog collar or what is it?
It's got skull and bones. Because you rock.
All right, you ready to pick some games, Hard Rock Holiday?
Let's do it.
Yeah, living in the 80s still, I see, aren't you?
Love the hair.
All right, let's start off with a Thursday night showdown. Lima Central Catholic at Shawnee. Mark Shine, Jerry Snodgrass on the call. This is a big one, Hard Rock.
Wow, this reminds me of my good buddies Van Halen. Not that Van Hagar, dude. I'm talking about running with the football. And you know Cannonball Eddie White and Bad Bad Brady Parker, they rock!
I'm sorry for making fun of you for the whole thing you did with the yeah, I'm so sorry. Yeah, it's your question.
Did you pick?
I did. Yeah, did you pick a team?
Yeah, LCC.
Oh, okay. We're just checking.
Okay.
All right, next game. All right, let's see how this one goes. All right, Thursday night, Columbus Grove. They got a lot of question marks. They lost a lot of guys. They got to fill a lot of holes in there on that team, especially on the lines. They travel to Pandora Gilboa. I'll be there on the call along with Darn Evergall. How do you think that one plays out?
Hard Rock and Holiday likes middle-aged music, right? And that's why I love AC/DC. And you got to remember AC/DC. Best is back. Landon Best to Trevin Baxter. They rock.
Can I ask you what middle-aged music is?
AC/DC.
Makes no sense. Makes zero sense. Makes zero sense. Okay, Hard Rock Holiday. Ottawa, Glandorf, Liberty Benton. Liberty Benton with the law firm of Elkert and Elkert. OG coming off a 6-6 year.
Winning a football game, Danny, is like climbing that stairway.
What
that
happened?
stairway
What
to
happened?
heaven.
It was Rocker just now. Are you back?
I'm back.
Okay.
I'm back. And when you climb that stairway, you need some angels. And Elkert, they're angels. So it's going to be like climbing that stairway to heaven. Liberty Benton wins.
Game number 4. Oh man, we gotta
It's
get.
going to be in so many people's living rooms.
All right, game number 4. Fort Loramie. They are traveling to Minster. Fort Loramie, a young team, Minster squad that lost seemingly everybody on each side of the ball. How you see this one going?
Well, Minster is losing Brogan Steffi. He's no longer with them anymore, and I know that hurts your soul.
It does. It hurts me bad.
Hurts your soul, brother. But when you have Brogan Steffi or you don't have Brogan Steffi and you're Minster, it's still a nice day to win a game.
That's Billy Idol.
It is Billy Idol, my good buddy. Week 2, though, for Fort Loramie is going to be a good day to start again.
Okay. Let's go to Hardin County, Hard Rock. A good old-fashioned backyard brawl. The upper side of Valley Rams, the Ada Bulldogs. They've been playing this rivalry for a while. This is a good old-fashioned hatred here.
Yeah, winning a rivalry game is like being born to be wild. And you know, Ada, they always win this game because they're born to be wild. Ada wins this one. And you remember playing Ada in this one, don't you, brother? Yeah. I'm sorry, dude.
We really should start rehearsing.
We should. Hard Rock, where will you be appearing in the next couple of months?
I'm going to be on tour with my good buddy, the mouth trumpet, Danny Holbrook. We're selling out everywhere.
And nowhere, all at the same time.
Hard Rock Holiday, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm out.
Welcome back into WOSN Studio for the Three Wise Men. Guys, it's time for the Buckeye Corner now. Talking a little bit about Ohio State football.
Well, I had to step out for a second. Was my brother here?
Yes, Hard Rock Holiday was here. Yes, yeah.
Was he
He's
nice?
a little different. He's nice, but he's loud and different.
Did he eat a lot of paint chips as a kid?
Yeah.
Boy, did he.
Did you guys live close to power lines? Yeah.
Nuclear plant.
Yeah. All right, guys, the NCAA dropped the hammer this week, the proverbial Fisher-Price hammer on Michigan. Were you guys satisfied with the punishment?
At this point, I'm just glad it's over. Look, we all knew that they weren't going to get much. We knew that they were going to vacate wins. We knew that nothing was going to be forfeited. This whole thing has just been a very long, stretched-out show that, quite frankly, I'm very excited is over. Maybe we'll start seeing a financial thing out of this. I've always thought, and I think when we've talked about this before, I've always thought in this new world of NIL, the thing that they needed to do more than anything was it had to be financial, fellas. But it had to be in a way that you hurt your ability to provide NIL money for your players. That is the only way that the NCAA is still going to have any sort of proverbial teeth in anything. Once teams are going to be almost essentially put on a salary cap, then you'll start seeing some of this stuff go away. Until then, you know, listen, I'm not going to shy away from it because it actually was a pretty good point. There's a lot of Michigan fans and just college fans in general, you know, who said, hey, listen, if I had to pay a $20 million fine and it resulted in me being a national champion forever, we would gladly do it. No questions asked, no problem. $20 million roster, fellas, $20 million fine, both equal to natty.
Yeah, it did. Look, I'm just very happy for Michigan fan that none of your kids traded stuff for tattoos because you would have been demolished as a program, right? You would have had wins vacated, your national title would have been gone. That would have been, your coach would have been fired, and he'd never been allowed back in college football. But I'm just glad that didn't happen for you guys. All you guys did was cheat to win football games, and that's just, I guess that just means you just pay money, right? Right? I would pay $20 million every year if I could win the national title. Wouldn't you?
Well, guys, the two masterminds of the entire operation will no longer coach college football ever again. That's a good thing. Jim Harbaugh's got a 14-year show cause, 10 and a 4.
Yeah, you're right, because Jim Harbaugh's really ended up worse for wear in this whole deal.
Yeah, well,
you're right. As he's moved on to the
Poor
NFL,
Jimmy.
making millions of dollars, probably end up in a Super Bowl again one day. You're right. And Connor Stallions will forever be linked in history to college football as one of the. You will forever be able to say his name, and college football fans will know who he is. He's going to be okay.
He's going to make money, whatever he does for a book. He's going to write a book. Someone's going to pay him a lot of money for that, right? And in 8 years, when his show cause is over, Michigan's hiring him. He was always going to be part of that university. Somehow, some way, the university is going to take care of Connor Stallions, because what did he do? What does a stand-up guy do? What does a guy that went to the military and learned values and ethics? What do you do?
Cell phone in the
You
pond.
throw the evidence away.
Well,
He ends
look,
up in the pros
It's just
before all
weird.
that.
It's weird. They find out they were cheating and they go 8-5 last year. Just weird. All right, guys. The Buckeyes looked to be as talented as they were last year. Maybe. Who knows? Give me some some players who will be household names at the end of this year. We'll start with you, Nate.
Oh, I mean, the easy one obviously is quarterback, right? We're a brand new quarterback. Julian Sain has just been named QB1. That's the easy low-hanging fruit here. I think that is going to be, somebody clearly that we're going to talk about way more than we did last year. Other than that, I think C.J. Hicks is going to be a name that we've talked about in the past, but I think we're going to talk about it because he's got a new position.
He's going to be great.
Right? They moved him to DN. He's looking to continue that long list of dominant DNs that Ohio State has been able to produce, and I think he has an opportunity to fall right in line with the rest.
I'm going to go with Mylan Graham. He's a receiver that when we were there at practice, very few receivers can catch and explode on the catch. He doesn't slow down on the catch. He just runs through the catch. He's going to be that third receiver. On a lot of teams, he'd be the number one, but he's going to be that third receiver that's going to make teams just have fits. He's going to be electric. Bo Atkinson, the big defensive end transfer, my Lord, the reach that he has, he get off the ball, and he just puts those big mitts up in the air. He's going to be a problem for a lot of teams.
I'm going to go with 2 on each side of the ball. Kenyatta Jackson, I think he's going to lead the team in sacks.
Another
this
guy
year.
with great reach.
He's explosive on the defensive end. And then a guy we saw at practice who went down was Edric Houston. He is massive. I couldn't believe how big the guy is. He's massive. I think he's going to have a great year at defensive tackle. And then on the offensive side of the ball, 2 guys. One guy, a local guy, Luke Montgomery. I think he's ready to shine. Yeah. He's been waiting in the wings. He's done what every guy that goes to Ohio State should do. Keep your mouth shut, work hard, wait your turn, and when you get your turn, take advantage. Well, and he's done all those.
He's a throwback.
Yeah.
Right? That's how it used to be. You used to go somewhere and you had to put your time in, and then you end up becoming into a pivotal role where now we're seeing, well, if in the first year things aren't going my way, I'm out. Yeah. Luke Montgomery has done it the way that it used to be, the way that we all like to see before.
Yeah. Houston and McDonald, the 2 defensive tackles. That's a lot of beef.
Cade McDonald's really good. And the last one is James Peoples. Think J.K. Dobbins, guys. I'm telling you.
I think he's going to be better.
J.K. Dobbins, he's going to be fantastic.
So I got one more thing because I didn't want to take it in case you guys had it, but in the name of Peoples, I think that with the running back depth that Ohio State has had to endure with injuries and guys going down and not sure where things are going. Last year was great. We had Judkins, he was healthy. We had Trayvon, he was healthy. But in years past, we've really started to kind of be thin, and we've had to rely on 3rd, 4th, 5th running backs at times, depending on how things have played out. I think that the 5-star recruit, Bo Jackson, coming in has a chance to get on the field and make a name for himself. And if there's any injuries, I think he has a chance to shine and be somebody that we really talk about.
Him or Isaiah West, or Turbo. I mean, it's the deepest Ohio State running back room that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
All right, guys, the big game is next week. Texas comes to the shoe. What's the one thing that concerns you about this game?
I just think that the youth, right, the inexperience that we have in some pivotal positions, that has to be the concern. We know that we have talent. We have 5-stars all over the place. We have highly touted recruits. We have some experience coming back. But this is a different team. This is not the same team that we saw walking off with the national championship last year. This is a new team that's going to have to come out and establish themselves, and there's no warm-ups. This is not easy. They're going up against a team that a lot of people think is the best in the country, and they're going to have to come out and they're going to have to show it right away.
To me, it's Brian Hartline. First opportunity to be the offensive coordinator. We have two new coordinators, Matt Patricia on the defense side. That guy's been fantastic, though, as a defensive coordinator. I think they're going to be really good on that side of the ball because of him and his varied alignments, varied schemes that he's going to bring to Ohio State. But Brian Hartline has never had to call pressure situations, right? I know he's going to have Ryan Day in his ear to help him with that. But with all the new talent that you have coming in, is he going to forget, oh, yeah, we got Jeremiah Smith we need to get the ball to? Is he going to forget down and distance, or the play's going to be in, there's not going to be any flow to it? It's going to be interesting to see if he's going to be a pass-happy guy or if he's going to be a guy that wants to mix it. I think early in the season, he's probably going to want to throw the ball because what did he play? He was a receiver, right? And usually those guys like to catch footballs. So it'll be interesting to see how he adapts to it. That's a concern for me.
Yeah, my biggest concern is probably at the quarterback position, Julian, saying I think he's going to be fantastic, but this is game one for him. He's in charge now. Look, he's got the playmakers. Get the ball to Jeremiah Smith. No secret there. Hand the ball off to James Peoples. Let your offense – don't try to do too much. We hear that all the time, but I think that's really, really what the coaching staff's going to say to him. Look, we're going to let you throw on 3rd and 12. We're going to let you roll out of the pocket. Look, the kid, the one thing we know about the kid is he's accurate.
He's going to be good.
Very accurate.
He's going
to
be really good.
But look, game one against Texas in the shoe, I'm excited.
Hey, what is this? What do you have over there, Nate? What you guys get these things?
Yeah, that's from Hard Rock Holiday. He gave.
My brother brought you gifts?
Yeah.
Your brother's pretty cool, man.
Is he?
I liked him.
Not as cool as me, though. Not nearly as cool as me.
Oh, no, he's a lot cooler. Yeah. Hey, thanks a lot for joining us here on The Three Wise Men. We'll be back again next week, Limeland.